Welcome, my fellow Clashers. We are here with Judo Sloth Gaming, the man himself, the King of England, is
You are
here.
too kind, my friend. The British accent has arrived.
Exactly. Well, we're talking about the bat spell. A lot of people are saying, well, Town Hall 10, they nerfed the bat spell again in the Stone Slammer, but I'm here to prove that it still needs a little bit tweaking at Town Hall 10. It's certainly Town Hall 11 and Town Hall 12. It's not viable, this kind of mass bat spell strategy, but we're going to get into it. But welcome, Judo, and I guess first, before we get into the replays, what are your thoughts on the update? Do you like it, don't like it?
Yeah, no, I mean, personally, I like it. Anytime there's new stuff, new strategy to the game, I think it's awesome. It's just essentially getting the balance right, isn't it? Which is something we're obviously discussing in this one. And I know they've quickly got on top of that in terms of nerfing the bat spell, but as you will see in these attacks, people are still using it to a fantastic effect. And who knows? They're obviously just taking a little bit more of a closer look at it now, and then, potentially there's another nerf to come. I wouldn't be surprised. I'd almost think that it should. You'll see some of these attacks, obviously. You guys are killing it over there in Spartan's Legacy.
No. Let's push play and then watch this one. So this one's a little bit different than the Mass Hound. So of course, I've shown videos. We just bring Mass Hounds. This one's a little more sophisticated. It's kind of like using the bat spell like a blimp. Kind of, you're like suiciding the bat spell to kind of create pathing for your loons, which is kind of a cool idea.
It is, and it's interesting that you would think that it shouldn't work right next to the wizard tower there and obviously the Inferno. It did. It cleared out that area no problem. I think it's just the sheer volume of them that are there, and it's just devastating. But it is good to see it used a bit more strategically, like you said in this one, rather than just spamming them behind the lava loon. I think it'll be interesting once it gets into the right place of the game, shall we say.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be opposed to using the bat spell kind of like this. So if they nerf it enough to be able to, if this is a viable strategy, it's a cool idea. I like that. It's not all spam. Now, what do you think about the Stone Slammer?
Exactly.
Are you a fan?
Honestly, I love the Stone Slammer. I think it's great for this reason. But again, it is still very strong. But I think it's fantastic with the Sui Heroes, for example. You can bring in that blimp to literally just open up huge areas of the base where they can get in quite easily and do an incredible amount of damage. I mean, that took out a massive area of the base. I know we're focusing on Town Hall 10 for this one, but I did see over the weekend, I can't remember which stream it was. I think it was even Bye Forever, but they literally used the Stone Slammer to come in, take out two defenses on the edge of the base, get straight pathed to the Giga Tesla, and take that down by itself. It was insane. The amount of damage it done was crazy.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wonder if, obviously I don't think they'll take the Stone Slammer out of for Town Hall 10s, but yeah, I definitely see this update trying to push players to 11 and 12, which I've always been against lately for myself, just because I'm not a fan of farming. I don't like farm. Everyone knows I don't like farming, but maybe I have to go to 11 because it's getting hard. 10's getting easier. It's interesting. 10's been the hardest Town Hall for the past many years, but now that's changing. So, yeah.
It is. It's interesting, but I guess it's one of them things as well that I guess it's the natural progression of the game. We did see this with Town Hall 9 as well, although 9 was never as hard as Town Hall 10. And I personally would love to see Town Hall 10 still, perfectly balanced and have it quite evenly matched across them. But I do see, them trying to create that challenge higher up and trying to engage people to move up as well. And I get what they're trying to do. It's hard, isn't it? It's a tough one for them, but you're right. Hopefully we will see a lot more, people moving up through Town Hall 11 and hopefully to 12, because that's where the game really does come into effect now with these high level wars.
Okay, so now we're on the next base. This different again. This bat spell, a lot of different options. Now we have dragons, mass dragons, which typically you would not hit this base with mass dragons like this. I mean, of course, clone spell dragon is an option, but yeah, I think I'm showing these attacks just to show that Town Hall 10 it needs to be changed just a little bit more, and that's fine. I think some people say I'm maybe a little harsh on Clash of Clans or Supercell, but the reason I'm picky about these things because I want the game to be the best it can be. And they make a great. I mean, Clash of Clans is a phenomenal strategy game, right? I mean, I know Judo. That's obviously one of the reasons you like playing it as well because it has that strategy component.
Yeah, exactly. And I think they achieved what they wanted to at Town Hall 10 when they implemented the machine. I mean, that was a whole new way to attack in itself. And I think that was a good way of them and a very intuitive way of increasing the hit rates at Town Hall 10. And we've seen that effect take place. I think the bat spell, like you said, it is still very strong. I think it, in my opinion, does still need a little bit of a nerf. It's interesting, though. They'll see the numbers that, they have. It's always that thing that the base designs, they do take a little bit to catch up, but you start to get to a stage where it's like, how long does it take for them to catch up? And can they even catch up? Like, there's so many varieties of things, there's got to be a stage where, further nerfs are needed, essentially.
Okay, now we're at the next phase. Again, guys, this time using 15 baby dragons. As you can tell, a lot of different strategies with this bat spell. But Judo, what do you, as far as Clash of Clans content, do you wish they would kind of bring more updates more often? Is that something you would want, or have you had discussions with them? I know you've been to Finland over there. Or have they talked about doing that, or?
I mean, look, I love updates. Of course, I want more updates. Who doesn't? I think they've openly spoken as well that they feel in recent years, shall we say, they potentially haven't brought out new stuff as much as they would have liked to in terms of new troops and things. And what I will say is that I think this year has been an incredible year for Clash of Clans. If you think about the new stuff that we've got, I take my hat off to them in that this year they really have pumped out a lot more content. It's been interesting content, and I can't wait to see what they bring out next year as well. I think it's going to be another exciting year for Clash if they continue with this momentum.
Yeah, well, we can push play, and I'll give you one thought I had. I noticed in Clash Royale, like in speaking of Fortnite too, like emotes are a big thing. I think it'd be kind of cool if in Clash of Clans they somehow instituted emotes, like maybe after you 3-star somebody, you can smack down some sort of fun emote at the end of the base. I don't know if they could do that logistically in Clash.
That's a cool idea. That is a cool idea, and I think even when you've just said that, I can see that happening, because you see the spectator slots. You see how many people from your team and your enemy team are watching the replay, and the attacker themselves don't necessarily have to see these emotes. That could be very off-putting.
Oh, yeah.
Imagine on the left side of the screen, you could cheer on with different emotes, you and your team, so there are different things, and only the people spectating could see that, and exactly the same on the other side as well.
Well, I would pay for it. I mean, the thing about, I would pay for a cool emote. I mean, I'm trying to make Supercell some money. It's a brilliant idea. No.
That is a good idea.
Yeah, I mean, $5 for an emote. I don't know. Fortnite does it so well, and they make tons of money. So, yeah, I don't know. I like the interaction. So yeah, providing more interaction in Clash, which you seem to see in Clash Royale a lot. I don't play Clash Royale, but I know you've dabbled in it.
I dabbled in it quite a while ago, but it's too frustrating for me. I get myself wound up too easily with Clash Royale. But yeah, I think even money aside, think of the interaction when you and your team are watching someone compete, and it's amazing. Perhaps where the attacker could then see the emotes if they want or something, like once they've deployed all their troops, then they could see the emotes and they could see everyone cheering because there's nothing better than when you've smashed that war attack, you come back to base and you see just the woo train in the chat. It's awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like, especially I know as an attacker, like when I push attack, my eyes go like, how many people are watching this thing? Like, because it creates different pressures. I don't know. It's fun to know who's on your side and seeing your clanmates there cheering you on. So.
Exactly.
Well, Judo, I appreciate you stopping by. Everyone should go subscribe to Judo Sloth. If you like the British accent, you should go. And if you don't like the British accent, then you should still go because he's a beautiful sight to see. He's a good Clash of Clans content creator. His channel's going off the chain, and he does a lot of cool stuff for a lot of variety. And yeah, anything else you want to say before we head on out?
No, I mean, obviously, thank you for the kind words. That is very kind of you. It's been a pleasure to be on the channel. You know, I've been a big fan of yours for quite some time. I've watched your content for years now on Clash, and you know, I got to take my hat off to Spartans Legacy this season. I wish you guys the best of luck. I've been a fan of Spartans Legacy as well. You guys have just missed the playoffs so many times. Just missed the final, should I say, so many times. You know, I've got my fingers crossed for you guys. You're killing it this season. You're doing a great job.
Well, I appreciate it, and all the best to you over there. And maybe one day I'll come over and we can have some tea and crumpets.
There you are. I look forward to it, buddy. Thank you very much.
Okay, see ya.
Threaten my people with slavery and death. This is madness! Madness. This is Sparta!